Hey, 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 welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. It is, of course, Tuesday, as always, and it's about that time, the day of the week where we get to just talk about a whole lot of things, mainly about politics and what's going on in the world, and stories and updates, and of course, some YouTube menagerie. But anyway, welcome to everybody in the balcony, and because we don't do bushes here, we don't. So welcome, hey, Melissa Scott, Pink, Brother Nate, of course, I see you, and let's get started. Brother Nate, are you ready, sir? All right. So I know you guys have missed me. It was, it's been a bit of a crazy. I had a few back to back things that I didn't even forget was back to back. But anyway, I am back and together somewhat, but it was a bit of running and ripping the road.
There was a lot of
It,
back, boy.
it was fun. It was fun.
Good evening,
Um,
everybody. How y'all doing?
yeah, but still tried to stay abreast to what was going on with all of this stuff. Really does it. Thank you, Pink, because it needs to get done. So anybody who they're willing to do it, you're more than welcome to it. Boy, where do we begin? So much stuff. How about I just start with what you sent me most recently? Like read, and I did read it. It was definitely a very interesting story to say the least. To catch everybody up, the Houston Parole Board had put forth a measure to exonerate George Floyd from a what was it 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah, a 2004 um, bogus drug charge that he had received from a crooked cop, nonetheless. And the cop himself has now been indicted under murder charges and some other illegal things that he was doing when he was a part of this narcotics team. Now, the funny thing about this whole thing that kind of mirrors the two incidences with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd kind of together, which is really weird in this instance. As I was reading, the officer was involved in a narcotics unit, and he was basically robbing folks. And that was the bust that went wrong. It was supposed to be kind of like a no knock warrant, same type of situation with Breonna Taylor. They were supposed to go in there, bust it up, get the drugs, get the money, and do whatever with it. I guess arrest some people, charge some people with some possession, but for the main part, they were going to keep some for themselves. But didn't work out that way. People wind up getting in trouble and getting caught up because everything didn't work quite to plan. Same thing what I always say about the Breonna Taylor case. I believe it was the same kind of situation. They was running up in there to rob her, thinking she was there alone by herself, and did not expect her to be there with somebody who was armed and ready to bust back. So, but yeah, if you get a chance to check it out, it was on NBC News. It was the parole board asked the Texas governor to pardon George Floyd in the 2004 drug bust, which of course Governor Hot Wheels has yet to respond to this, being that he was a native Houstonian. Houston felt it only right to exonerate him for all that has happened, and Governor Hot Wheels is still playing ignorant. So I'm done with that. Hey, Auntie Donna, another auntie in my head, but go ahead. What are your thoughts on that, brother? If any.
So much.
Right.
Just
Right.
so much.
You, I was like, you had to give me this right now.
Yeah, it's like when I read it, I was like, the first thing I always get pissed when they want to exonerate people after the fact. It's like they're not here.
Right.
You've destroyed their reputation.
Period. So now what you trying to rebuild it for what?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's the first thing that always pisses me off. So I'll spend about 20 minutes fussing about that dumb shit about the exoneration, and then when I really thought about the actual governor, and I was like, this motherfucker's going to take 5 years, or he's not going to say anything at all.
He's not going to say anything at all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Governor Hot Wheels, he ain't saying shit.
So I'm really not expecting much, but I think they're just going to let it ride out its news cycle and then just let it disappear.
Yeah, that's what they always do.
Yeah, so
they always wait for the news cycle to kind of.
As long as we keep it on our lips and keep speaking it out,
right,
so that it doesn't, so that it doesn't die out.
Right. Very true. Very true. And I mean, that's what we need to do. We need to always make these politicians, Democrat or Republican, make them aware of the promises and the things that they've done, period, and put it in their faces. Just like I applaud the people who showed up at what's his name? Joe's spot over in West Virginia. Yeah, you need to start doing that because he's holding up things that could be done because he wants to play footsie with Trump. Like nobody has time for that because your state, was a heavily Trump state. So you're trying not to step on nobody's toes, but yet you're holding up progress.
Yeah. While he's floating around on his yacht,
Right. In one of the poorest states in the nation, might I add.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Do they even have water over there in West Virginia? No, it's actually
the Shenandoah that they cross.
It's actually a beautiful country. I tell you that much.
Depends on where you go.
Well,
hey, what's going on, House of X? It really depends on where you go. Just
I'm being nice, man. I'm being nice.
Don't go too far up in the hills.
Well, no.
The hills have eyes and everything else.
Do I hear banjo? Ding, 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 ding.
I wouldn't do it.
I hear a lot of pig fucking going on.
Furthest I go is the casino and back. I don't even venture. I can't do it. I don't care how cheap the homes are, how affordable.
Because you can't afford. You can't find a job around there.
Right.
Sure it is.
Right. You definitely be driving all the way to work from there. Yeah. Just to have yourself some. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. So on that, but in brighter news in regards to. Well, not that, but kind of sort of. Dylan Roof, the killer of the 9 parishioners at the AME church some years ago, tried to ask for a lower case or something a little lighter because you made the victims look like such angels.
Lighter than death, right?
Right. That he could not possibly get death for murdering these people. He would possibly maybe life in prison. He thinks that would be suitable for him. Thank God that a judge, a group of people decided, no, you got what's coming to you. And they have
hopefully you'll get what's coming to you.
Right. And they rejected his request to have a new trial. Now, hopefully that sticks and we can move on with life, at least with that part. And, the only grace he was given was a Whopper from Burger King by officers who are there protecting and serving.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, about that. Let's
Hey, Miss T, how you doing?
Hey, Miss T Velocity, how are you? Not cousin.
Hey, your Bobby Joe. I don't know. That's Uncle. That's Uncle Daddy, Uncle Grandpa. That's that cartoon.
Right. All right.
Uncle Grandpa.
So let's talk about a few things real quick that I glanced over, but I didn't really get a chance to because I was doing a whole lot, way too much. Unemployment is clawing back. Is anybody surprised? I'm not surprised. Unemployment would still be at the rate it is. I mean, I'm not. I don't. We're still in quarantine.
You're still in quarantine. You have companies that just aren't going to make it.
They're just not. They're not going to make it. They cannot make it without staffing an entire building. They cannot make it without staffing the entire franchise. So without staffing the entire franchise because you have limitations, of course you're going to have unemployed people. I mean, I just don't understand, like, where's the nuance? And if you need 150 people to actually run a day, and you can only put damn near half that, if that, in a building at a time, and everybody doesn't have the same skill set to kind of push it on through, you're going to run into some problems. And that's really what is happening now.
And not only that, you have people who come to the realization it opened their eyes, this fucking job don't give a shit about me. Right. They got me stand out here with these crazy folk and they breathing on me. All right. It's not worth it, you know.
And that part too. And especially when people are just around, really, they don't care. They really don't care.
Oh, they're really showing it now. They
really don't care about any of this. They will walk around. I mean, I will say, I was in New York this weekend, and you really had to show, your Vax card, whatever else you needed to, your ID, your Vax card, or whatever, to enter into places. But then my thought came, okay, well, what about the people who just printed it up off the internet? You know what I'm saying? Who really aren't, and just was like, okay, well, we're gonna work this out. I'm gonna take a picture of it and just gonna go, here you go. Because they weren't asking necessarily that you had to have the card, but as long as you had it, if you took a picture of it on your phone, you could show that.
I will always wear a mask.
Right.
I was that beforehand. Right. Like I told y'all before, I was like that beforehand. So,
but see, I wasn't. I would look at people like Michael Jackson and go, "Oh, that's weird. Why is he always wearing?" No. And now you come to the realization that he might have known something that we didn't know.
Like I had said before, the the Chinese and the Japanese, because they live on top of each other.
Right.
Such a close, especially the Japanese. They don't have a lot of square footage, even in their apartments. Everything's really small, and it's just as a common courtesy. Yeah, if they're not even if they're sick, when you're all crammed into a tight area, you have your mask.
Right.
You can't afford to have somebody giving you whooping cough or something.
Right. Yeah. So I even bought one of the little plastic shield thing. And
I saw it. Yeah. I saw it. It was like.
He's people keep laughing at me like that's so funny.
No, because here. I was going to say, because when people sneeze, you'd be surprised. You'll pick up a lot of particles in your eyes.
Yeah.
Because they sprinkle it all over. I don't give a shit. They can laugh all they want to. I told one woman, I said, I don't know where your mouth has been. I don't know who it has been on.
Right.
She's like, "Oh, you're so funny." I said, "No, I'm serious." I know what you've been doing. That's fact. That is fact.
All right, so moving right along to October being Breast Cancer Month, or Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or even just cancer in general. For me, I just like overall all types of cancers. I think we need to be proactive in really screening for these things, not waiting to the last minute. And, I know that medical bills can be outrageous and ridiculous, but your health is your wealth. So, you don't want to
tarnish something you can play with. Nothing you can play with.
Or forego it just for something to be ignored. And I say all that to say women of color, especially a lot of the sororities, the Black sororities, are kind of coming together during this time to the same way they did with voting and kind of pushing people to vote and doing a campaign to push voting with the AKAs and the Deltas and so on and so forth. They're doing the same thing now with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month and promoting that women go out and get examines and just examine yourself while you're in the shower and all sorts of things, and do that. Men too, this is not just particularly, I know in this algorithm that we're in, it's far more women, but men
and too. We've seen a lot of breasts.
We've seen a lot of breasts on men and women, to be clear. Just the past couple days, it's been a lot of breasts.
There's a lot of titties. And we care for the titties because we want everybody to be around.
A lot of titty meat.
Yeah, my wife got hers done last week.
Oh, okay.
She got hers done
Awesome.
last week.
Awesome. But yes, on a serious note, please make sure that we are going out and getting those things checked. And if you can't afford it, there are free screenings. You just have to look and
That's
find the
right.
resources. You can go to your local social services. You can go. There's other places you can go. There's churches that have organizations that provide free screenings. You just gotta kind of do a little research, a little digging. And if you don't know, just ask. Somebody will be able to look it up and look in your area to see where you can go.
Yes, Miss T. We talked about men
We
having
talked about men
doing the same
doing
exam.
the same exam.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just take it as, oh, that's a hair bump or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a bump and it's there, or if it's getting dark, or you have any discoloration, you need to start really.
Yep. Inverted nipple. That was the thing for you. You had never heard of it having an inverted nipple. So having that done. So men, get your breasts done too.
Right. Get your titty checked as well.
Get your titty checked. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or ladies, do your men.
Right. Exactly. Why are you doing all that?
Same exact exam.
Show him how to do. Show him how to do it, and feel for anything.
Even though he gonna think you bullshitting, bullshitting me, and
well, tell him to do that with his balls. Then because it is important that we make sure, definitely, that we are taking care of ourselves and are taking care of each other, because we are all we have. I mean, whether it's a small family unit or a large family unit, it's all you got. So if I think it's important, and especially here, even though we joke and some people go a little too far and all that, I understand it, but at the end of the day, we are still family, so we need to start caring about each other in a different way a little bit. Hold on, I'm just fixing my charger here. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see what else we got here. You sent me so much stuff. How do you feel about, and this is just a question to you, how do you feel about the semi shutdown, or the looming shutdown, or the temporary Band-Aid, I guess, on the possible shutdown yet again? This time with the Republicans kind of.
No, it's just part of the game.
Yeah.
When as long as it was, it was not anything, even though it's things that are needed. But I just think they just have that burn down the house attitude.
Yeah.
Pretty much, we're not going to do anything. We're going to stall for the next couple of years, and and just let it go at that. And that's why I get so upset with the Democrats, because they bunch it. Well, I would say pussy, but pussy's tough. These motherfuckers.
Marshmallow soft. It's really
it's ridiculous.
Part of me just really thinks, and I know, not that I don't like it. How can I put this?
If you don't like it,
because people always say, "Oh, race has nothing to do with it," but it does.
Well, it does. It is baked into everything.
Right.
And we're seeing it more and more now.
Right, exactly. Race has a lot to do with this, just for the simple fact that the Democratic Party, as well as the Republican Party, the top tiers of these groups are white people. So they, their interests, yes, some interests may be different in certain aspects, but the main goal is to make sure they kind of maintain power. So they will play that.
Right. That they come out on top and that they make money.
That's it.
If they can live off of you,
that's what
you are a source of income.
That's it.
You are a source of income.
That's it. So when we don't actually include ourselves and get involved, they continue to still run this kind of game. And it takes for us to say, you know what, enough's enough. I've had it. Enough's enough. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not. And we need to get out of that mindset that this is going to happen overnight, that one vote is going to change everything. It's not. But you gotta stick with it. It's like with anything. If you stick with it, you'll see it through the end. It will happen. When you kind of you get all into it and then you fall off. Where are you going? Where are you going? So I think that's important. We need to do, and we need to start paying attention, because of course the post office is still chopping away their hours. So they haven't kicked back in their hours since the last election when Trump was trying to steal it before it even happened, until we got notice that, hey, they're pulling out post office boxes. They're pulling out machines out of the post office. They're cutting postal worker hours. Why are they doing this? Oh, come to find out, yeah, they already knew people were not going to stand in line to vote because they figured Corona's going on. We're going to mail
it. That long game.
Right,
okay,
right. We're going to mail it. So they were just snatching up postal boxes and stuff like that. And Louis DeJoy is still at it because, of course, he's a part of the Trump train. And Sleepy over here won't just fire his ass because he doesn't want to seem like he's being non-bipartisan, which I think is ridiculous at this point. Who cares?
You know what? They can ram it up their ass, plain and simple.
Right.
And that's what they should be doing, because I tell you, once they get back into power, they're going to jam it. They're going to jam that shit up with no lube.
Right.
Okay.
No lube, no warning. You have clothes on and everything, and they just go whoop.
There's going to be a lot of rosebuds out there. I tell you that much.
So so that's what Sleepy is doing, which is really annoying the hell out of me. Of course, Miss Harris can't say nothing because if she say anything, she's gonna be quickly labeled as the angry black woman, which I think at this point, who gives a goddamn? Who
gives a damn?
If you're gonna be labeled as the angry black woman, be labeled as the angry black woman.
At least you get stuff done.
Doing something and getting something done. Exactly. Instead of sitting there biting your hands, still waiting for the white man to give you the okay to do something, and then you go out and do it. So I think that was ridiculous. But yeah, so as of October 1st, the postal service has been slowing down, and I say that
will be slower.
The midterms are coming up. We're not out of the woods yet. Midterms are coming up. So that means, of course, what's going to happen again? People are going to be staying home and voting by mail. You cut down the postal.
Because we are still in a pandemic.
We're still in a pandemic. So you cut down the votes, you cut down postal. Bam. They can have an election landslide, and Trump could be in there in a matter of days. Because all it takes is to have a majority of Congress to sit there and say, well, Joe Biden didn't officially win the election and overturn the whole goddamn
that's going to be the new game plan.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know, they just did that over in California.
That's the seriousness of what we're dealing with right now. It is not a game. Anytime that they feel like they will have the majority, they will try to overturn this shit as soon as possible. Like what they tried to do in California with that old knucklehead. Please, I can't with him. He irritates my whole soul. Let's see what else. Drug companies. Are we surprised that drug companies have been making money off this whole thing?
Of course not. Of course not. Oh yeah, one quick thing about the post office. If you're getting your medications through the mail, try to bump it up, because it's going to take longer for you to receive it. If you receive it.
Right.
If you can find other forms of delivery, even if you pay a couple of dollars, have it sent FedEx. Don't send your shit UPS. You ain't gonna never get it.
Right.
You'll be in a coma. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Please don't do that. Let's see. I'd like to ask you guys a question about food shopping. Everything is so expensive. What do you guys think? Everything is so expensive. And let me tell you, if there's a tough time and you're having a tough time with it, do not feel ashamed to go down to the social services or wherever you need to go to get help, to at least during this time, to help you with food. I think that's ridiculous.
Also check your local churches. They're still giving out boxes.
Right.
Matter of fact, they're actually throwing away a lot of food because it's a lot of fresh produce
that they can't keep.
Yeah, that they can't keep. Yeah. So, do like I was doing. I was networking it because I had people in my neighborhood that, things were getting tight.
Right.
So I would stop past, I'd pick up a couple of boxes. Even if you're just driving down the street, they would be out there and they would just be telling you, come on, get some of this, free food.
Right.
And go that route. Now things will get more expensive because the route lines are not stable.
Right.
Because of course you had a whole year of everything being shut down, so you're going to have that lag in between. But then you have problems with truck drivers. Remember, we had 700,000 people die.
Mm-hmm.
You have that, and you have a lot of job openings.
Right.
People aren't there to do it. So start kind of,
thank you.
Start stocking up while you can on paper products, things that you had problems with last year getting a hold of, because they're gonna start disappearing if they haven't already.
Right.
Especially about wintertime, because you're talking about
people being indoors more.
Indoors, they're gonna talk about the flu. I think they're gonna pump that flu thing up again. But as long as you keep you wear your mask, you watch who you're around, that type of thing. You should be all right, but just start stocking up on things that you had problems with last year, and start working some of your friends. They got extra this, and you start bartering. You start trading between
trading.
Or hoard up. You hoard up one thing, and they hoard up something else.
Right, and
and just do it that way.
Yeah,
but things will get tight. Let me tell you about this shit. Why did I see a Christmas commercial?
What?
I'm glad I don't celebrate Christmas.
They've already put Christmas stuff in the store.
No, but then listening to them, they're talking about, you need to buy your gift. Now this is that, pump the economy type thing.
Right.
You need to start buying your gifts.
Fuck
them gifts if I can't eat.
Right.
Right. I don't need an Apple Watch.
Or anything.
While I'm standing there starving, I can time how often my stomach growls. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes, and water too.
Thank you so much for popping and listening. We definitely appreciate it. Big Pharma. I wanted to get to yours. Yeah, Big Pharma is definitely making money. They've always made money, but that's why, again, a lot of the Congress people are getting in hot water, because they know a lot of times when the stock market is going to pump for Big Pharma, and they'll throw their money in and then try to pull it out real quick before the story breaks that they knew about it, which is ridiculous. Question was, how do you keep your sanity? Just being grounded. Just being grounded in whatever your belief system is. I'm not here to preach to anybody, because I'm not a preacher, unlike some. But whatever your system of belief is, just to be grounded in that, because faith without works is dead. So to have faith in something and now, do the work to kind of help it along, you're not going to get anywhere. So,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And also remember some of the things that your grandparents and your aunts and your uncles, things that they used to do back in the day. Because remember, we're doing light years better than they were, right. and they were used to living under, extraordinary times. Even though you know how it is, well, white people get a cold, black people get the flu every goddamn time.
Right.
So, while white people are jumping out the windows and things like that, because they can't pay a bill.
Right.
Can't pay a bill. What are you going to do? You just don't pay it. Plain and simple.
Speaking about white people not paying the bill, Zuckerberg lost like almost 10 billion. Was it 10 billion or $17 billion just from that shut off? But I mean, I just think that whole thing was bogus. I definitely think, I've always told you before, even publicly and privately, that I think Zuckerberg is in on the bullshit with Trump and everything else. He's a fan. But I think this whole shutdown of Facebook and everything else was a $7 billion. Thank you, Miss T. I knew it was something. Was because they have stuff in regards to the whole whatever that was on January 6th, the white crybabies. They have all of it. The congressmen going back and forth and talking about, they should come here. They have all that. And the way to wipe that all away was to make the system have a complete meltdown and mess everybody's up.
Yeah.
And then you're still like, oh, I don't know what happened. Yeah, you know what happened. You know what happened. Congress subpoenaed them.
We saw it on TV. And I was waiting for it 2 weeks ago, but I got all them goddamn snacks. And I ate them too, boy. Right. Woo, talking about titties.
I bet you ain't have bigger titties than some.
Well, mine's were more voluptuous. I can even push them together. I can get cleavage. God, that shit.
Slide credit card here, please.
Yep, cha-ching.
But yeah, no, seriously, I just believe that a lot of stuff would be coming down the pipe because, of course, it was subpoenaed information. So the whistleblower was speaking. The whistleblower has been talking, because that's not the first time. I've even done a story in the midday about the practices of Facebook companies and the racial discrimination that they have. So that wasn't new. I think the part where people was like kind of clutching themselves is to realize that they didn't really care anything about the misinformation that was going on.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, the fact that they were stealing your information, you know, and you could look at your advertisements, the things that were being pitched to you, and tell that they're looking at what you're doing. You know, you think being on those social media platforms is free. You're giving up the macaroni and cheese that you like. You know, they listen to everything that you say.
They listen to everything. They're watching everything. And then on top of that, they're getting paid for all this.
Yes, they get paid for it. That's information. You don't have to have anybody come in and do surveys like they would pay, you know, outside companies would pay you to come do surveys and things like that. You don't have to pay for that stuff. Here's all this information free. And it's regional. It's already broken down. They can look at half the stuff that that you see and tell, you know, your race, your sex, your age, you know, that type of thing. But the sad part is you have children and teenagers that have never dealt with anything. So they would never recognize it. This is normal to them. That's why they can't deal. That's why they can't deal with all this stuff going on. So unplug them things and get them off of there every now and then. Tell them to go outside while they can still go out there.
As my mother would say, read a goddamn book. Read a book. But yeah, that's the issue that we're having with a lot of this, even with history and the teaching and the understanding of the things that ancestors have gone through. It's like, if you don't teach it, they won't know it. And then therefore, you know, the practices that they do now, they'll become used to it. And we'll be dealing with the same kind of destruction that we are. So I just
hey,
feel
Tenori, like how you doing?
It's unfortunate. What's up, Tenori? My Tuesday wife? Yeah, Tuesday wife. I gotta get them days straight.
You missed the booby conversation.
Yeah, you did miss the booby conversation. Our wellness.
But thanks to Tenari, she was the one that made us aware that October was Save the Tatas month.
Yes. And then since then, everybody has been showing their tatas, whether it's been voluntarily or involuntarily. So it's been tatas all over the place. Boy, what a blessing. I thought this was very interesting. You sent it to me. I did read some of it, but you know, the name kind of threw me off. So I was into it, but I wasn't really into it. But Ben Crump, I just don't like. He is not the greatest orator.
No, he sounds terrible.
He does, and I just wish, like, give it to somebody else.
Oh Lord, just scared me. She hopped down out the clouds. I was like, "What is that?"
Now, see, you thought it was Tuesday. No, see, here we go. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this right now. You're not Tuesday because you haven't. You know, we haven't. You're not Tuesday. You like Saturday. You're Saturday. I'm off Sunday. You said no, Jess was Tuesday. No, Jess. You're right. She's Tuesday. You're Monday. I'm off. I know I'm off Sunday. That's all I know is I'm off Sunday and I don't have a wife on Sunday. But anyway, that to other things.
Boy, she rolled out them
I
clouds.
know.
God
Real
damn.
quick. Hey,
It's like
Just
some
Jess.
super.
Always great to see you, love. Thank you for popping on. Oh, now you're giving yourself extra days. Okay. That's
All right.
okay. Right. So anyway, as I was saying, Ben Crump is with the family of why did I forget the woman's name? Because I shouldn't. Hold on.
Oh, Henrietta Lacks.
Henrietta Lacks. If you don't know her story, they were using her cells to do experiments on. And they've been using her cells for years and years and years. And I think they still use them.
They still use them.
Yeah.
Come to find out, her cells would, during experiments, they were replicating every 12 hours. And so instead of, dying from the cancer, they were actually replicating.
Right.
And they kept the cells. And of course, she passed. And never told anything. They took, it's biological and what he's saying is that it's biological and God, I can't remember the other word. They stole her shit. That's all it boiled down to. And they didn't ask her permission.
Right.
They did not ask her permission.
And he's with the family and they're suing to basically get her cells back and compensation.
Because all of these other pharmaceutical companies use her cells. It's in everything.
Right. Like Thermo Fisher made $32 billion last year.
Intellectual property. That's what I was looking for.
Yes. Like I said, the Thermo Fisher, which is a company that also makes drugs and cancer treatment drugs, made $32 billion in revenue last year off her cells alone using research for her cells. So if we ever was kind of questionable about them using us as guinea pigs or as the research labs or thinking that we are stronger or more tolerant of pain, and that's why we were used for these different kind of experiments, it's still going on today.
Well, and you had that other story about the artwork.
Oh, the Montgomery County one. That one?
About the three the statues for the three women.
Yeah, in Montgomery County.
Oh, okay. You said I'm thinking Maryland.
Oh, in Montgomery. That's what it was.
Okay, because you said Montgomery.
I was thinking Montgomery County when I
County,
said
Maryland.
I was like, that's in Maryland. So there's a new monument in Montgomery that honors the mother of genealogical three enslaved Black women who were unwilling to subject in experiments that resulted in medical advancements. The monument stands about 15 feet tall, and it was created by Kyle Sampson, and it looks really nice. Where did it come from? Ally. I don't know if you can see it because there's probably going to be a glare because of all this camera goosh. Yeah, see, but that's what it looks like.
It's three individual statues,
so you can see it.
Now they were trying to have the doctor who performed the atrocities on these three women. They were trying to have his statue removed. Now up in New York City, they had his statue removed.
Right.
But that's down in Texas, right?
This it says Montgomery, but no, Alabama.
Alabama. Well, doesn't matter. That fucker down there. Let me tell you what he did. He put forth legislation that you cannot have statues removed that were over 40 years. So his statue could not be removed. Now, that's not saying that, some brothers and sisters go down there and snatch that bitch down off the pedestal, because I've seen them do that shit up here. So what they did was they made the three statues, they're like a mile away from it. and they made them larger. And they're also making it a point to tell the story. Now, because each statue represented one of each of the three ladies, and the youngest one, which is the largest statue, she was being experimented on, and I believe it was 37 surgeries. She had 37 surgeries with no anesthetic, and she was pregnant. She was 17 years old. 17.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they have the picture of her uterus kind of. I don't want to get, because you're not gonna be able to see it, but there's like a hole right there where her uterus is.
Yeah,
they're taking her baby out. It's just really crazy and astonishing the levels that people had gone to. Let me see.
Because that doctor was under the belief that Black people did not have the same tolerance for pain. So when he went and of course he used these women to experiment on, but when he did the same surgeries on white women, of course, they got
anesthesia.
They got the good shit.
Good shit. Yeah, pretty much. On Biden's news, it's going to break down on Monday. I mean, granted, I just think that's just a lot of what we have to understand and come to grips with is a lot of these unions are Trump supporters. A lot of the union heads are Trump supporters because, of course, that's where they get to make their money. They get to transport toxics, chemicals, and things of that nature. There was no kind of barrier here. So, of course, anything that is coming down the pike that is requiring vaccinations or anything of that nature in regards to this president, you're always going to get a strike, a kickback, or something. My thoughts on it, again, like with anything, I think, you give the people the option to do it, not to do it. I don't think you should be threatening their jobs or their livelihood to it. But I mean, you leave the option out there for them to do it. And that's all you can do.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of retaliation, just like with the hospitals.
All on IG, licking his lips and what? Excuse me. Wait. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later.
Oh yeah, remind me to ask you something about that too. Anyway,
you know what? First of all,
because I've been wanting to say something a long time, but
it was just a picture. Anyway,
okay, go ahead.
So moving right along. So that'd be good to check out anybody who's in Montgomery, Alabama. Please, if you don't mind taking a picture and sending it, it would be great because I would like to see what it really, really looks like besides this photo here on the paper. Other than that, let's see what else. Are we surprised? You sent me this too, and I was like, okay, I'm not surprised that more than half of the cases of police killings go unlabeled and unreported. Just think about the cases that we have known about from these past 2 years or so of police violence or police murders. I ain't even going to say violence, but just straight out murders or violence against people, Black people and people of color. Just imagine the ones that go unreported or thrown by the wayside, many others. So when people, again, say that there needs to be some sort of revamp of the police department and their functions, it is a real thing. It is not something that is just politicized, but it is something that many people are affected by. And I think once we start to understand that and come to grips with that and get out of our political kind of you on this side, I'm on that side type of deal, you can better understand that a lot of people have lost their lives that we don't know about, that we don't continuously say their names because they've been killed in the shadows. Their murders have been called sickle cell traits or gun violence and all these other things. At the end of the day, they were murdered by people who were supposed to protect and serve them. So I just think that's ridiculous. But your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for those, you would hear us say every now and then, talk about sickle cell trait. That was one of the cover-ups that they used on paperwork when people had been murdered by the police officers, and they would say that when they did the coroner's report, that the cause was they died from sickle cell trait, which just happened a couple of months ago with the young man in the car. He told the officer that he was not feeling well, and she poo-pooed it off. And by the time they got to the station, he had collapsed. He was gone.
Yeah.
And they said it was because of sickle cell trait.
Right.
Okay. But
not to mention that they roughed him up before they put him.
Yeah, before that, it was the standard thing that they do. Yeah. But when you hear us say sickle cell trait, that's what we mean by that.
Let's see. Somebody had asked the question: Do I think Trump will win again if he runs again? I mean, if people don't vote, he will. If people do it the same thing that they did the first time he ran, which was not vote, he has a possibility of winning. Will I think he run again? No, I don't think he will. He likes this part of it. He likes the underdog. I can talk about you. I don't have
the combativeness of the whole thing.
Yeah, he likes the combativeness of the whole thing. He likes he can say anything and it brings all this attention. He does not like being scrutinized. As president, he's scrutinized even down to the money he makes, the money he doesn't make, all that is scrutinized. So that's a different reality for him that he does not like. He likes this going back and forth, saying anything, and instantly all the papers are talking about it. He loves that. And if you stop giving that to him, he will go away. But the fact that
it's no fun for him.
Right. The fact that they won't do that because he's feeding into the racists that are in here. He's really feeding into his own racism. And I wish people would stop kind of skating over the whole thing and just making it like, oh, it's just a party thing. It's more than a party thing. It really is. These people are bigots. They are racist. And I don't care what you say. You can be, there's some black people too on the train that really just don't see it for their own kind. They'd rather be on the other side because they've always been taught, hey, that side is better anyway. So, might as well join them. And again, this is my personal views. So don't be like, oh, it's just my personal views. But I just feel like, it's a possibility, but people have to show up. We always complain about things, but we don't show up. And that's what we got to start doing. If we show up, no matter how many laws they try to change, how many voting rights acts they try to scratch back, if we show up, they got to keep changing them.
And act like your life depends on it, because it does. Your children's lives depend on it.
Right.
Down the road. You see all this shit that they're doing? Yeah, a lot of these Republicans really don't give a fuck about their children's lives and their grandchildren. They don't care because they figure they'll be gone by the time their children and grandchildren. As long as I'm comfortable.
Right. But as long as I can get what I need to get right now, damn, they'll be all right.
They'll be all right. Yeah. After I'm not gonna give a damn after that because my ass won't be here.
Right.
So I'm gonna get all I can get and do everything and have everything that I want.
Right. And trust and believe, we would not be where we are today as a people had it been for people thinking, well, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't gonna be alive all that time to see this, that, and the other. I don't care what they do. I just rather sit home and just, we would be nowhere. So for people thinking about us then to actually go out and march and risk their lives to vote and do other things, we need to be thinking about them and not let their sacrifice and their, efforts go to waste and just think, oh, well, I'm not just going to vote and, participate in this. Definitely let your voices be heard. I said, that's my point. But I'm getting off my soapbox. I can stay on there. Yeah.
That was the rant portion of our show.
Yeah. That was about it. So now let's get into some YouTubery.
Foolishness and fuckery. Is that what we're calling this now?
Yes. This is the foolery and fuckery portion of the whole shit. All right, so YouTube. I don't really like saying people's names because I don't really, and it's not people like, oh, you scared to say people's names. It's not that. I just don't feel like, first of all, it's my platform and I get to say and do what I want. And if I don't feel like giving nobody no shine but me, then that's my business. But no, I'm not that bad. But this was really interesting. I've always known that people who talk the most sometimes have things going on with them that, you shouldn't be talking.
Mm-hmm. That's a given.
That's a given, right? But it's been like really, 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 really. It's been a lot. It's been heavy this past couple of days. Like especially like a lot of people going after JD for a bit and always coming at him, her. I don't know, whatever he wants to call herself today. It changes, but it was a lot of slow, fat, blah, 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 blah. And then to see that, it was like, whoa, okay. So is the pot calling the kettle black? I mean, I just don't, to me, it just don't make sense. It's like, granted, if you're gonna throw shit at somebody, then you, one or two things. You make sure you expose your shit first, or you make sure your shit is tight to where in which that way it won't get, you know what I'm saying? Like you hit the screen button, you hit the I'm not here, you hit one of these. Those when you get up and you just don't get up and then but you talking about, and I'm not a fan of Grandpa Tim, the other Prisoner of the Plastic Teeth. I'm not a fan, but at the same time, you talk about him and you sitting over there with a whole 9 months pregnant. It's like, goddamn, like who's giving birth? Like whose baby shower do I need to go to? Because I can, just let me know when you're registered, because there's a lot of pregnant people on these YouTube streets, and I just need to know who's registered with Babies R Us, if they still open. If not, let me know where your registry is, because I will gladly donate to your bundle of joy. That's all. It's a lot of babies. It's a lot of babies out here.
Well,
a lot of pregnant people out here.
You can't get no abortions.
Ooh, it's in the water. They must have been drinking the water. It's in the water. Who been dreaming of fishes? Somebody been dreaming of fishes, because there's a lot of fish. It's a lot of fish. Somebody's grandma been dreaming about fishes, and there's a lot of goddamn fish out here. Good God. Someone who's always, I've always been slim. So that kind of eluded me in life, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. And even if I, whatever, I make it work. But it was just a bit like, oh, okay, you can't be talking about somebody being big and you big. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who does that? But I know there's a lot of people do, and I just find it to be a bit funny. Like you can't come at somebody else calling somebody roly poly, or I forgot the actual name, but and you just hum. So like from this moment on, don't say nothing. Like you can't say no weight jokes. You can't talk about somebody over there making pound cakes on a seat making pound cakes. You can't talk about nothing because you's about.
You have to keep them.
Yeah, just straight face it. I just don't even say nothing. Just put the prayer cloth up to your nose and don't say nothing. Just make sure your eyes are showing.
Remember that? Thicker.
Yeah, right. Sicker. Because it definitely wasn't no fun.
There's a lot of motherfuckers cursed out here.
That's what it is. You curse with what they call it, Rona weight.
Wait,
that's a Rona weight. Yeah, but I just want to know. I just really want to know, what bike were you riding? What gym were you going to? Because I feel like writing some email.
What are you drinking? What you got in there?
Huh?
What you got in there?
Huh? Nothing. Juice. I just feel like writing some email.
Juice. What kind of juice? What you got? What you drinking?
Juice. I feel like writing some emails to some people and just saying that they
lie. You drinking scissor?
No, we ain't doing that.
That shit have you blind. Keep fucking around it.
Child, nobody messing with that. Nobody wants that. Okay. Leave the cough syrup for coughing.
You'll be scribbling all over your face. You come back on, it's like, who the hell done drew all over your face? You need to stop, boy. We need an intervention.
Yes, I did see the Fat Albert thing. It was funny. It was, and I must say, a lot of people have been very creative in.
That's because they couldn't wait.
And just making, yeah, literally, figuratively, literally.
You know what?
But no, seriously, without the extra or people being like really like kind of dark and dank, the creativity for some people to kind of make fun of it and do the whole thing, like,
yes, them juices was flowing,
was hilarious. I thought that was hilarious, comedy gold. That whole debauchery with the person trying to have someone else, kind of do a VS 2.013. I don't know where that was going, but whatever. Moving right along, because that was totally like fail. What else? The pulling up of the documents and everybody talking about this wife beat, and it's like, okay, well, quickly, let's do the math. If the man said that he was in his 50s and you really just did that subtraction, that would clearly mean that he was married at 15, 16 years old. Unless he was lying about his age. That's about the only plus that would be in it. But it's like, come on, people.
Yeah, let's use some common sense.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And that was my point. Like, let's not always just jump to, oh my God, and really ready to like spill the beans without having concrete knowledge of what exactly is going on. I think that is so, it's one thing, you hold it in your back pocket, you think, ha ha ha, funny. But it's a whole nother thing when you run on your platform to spew what somebody else is giving without you checking the facts to actually know what it is. And yeah, we don't know these people, and they can have whole nother lives. And like I said, yeah, in fact, it could be possible if the person was lying about their age. But at the whole time, the point of it is doxing. If you cannot go toe-to-toe to people with what you have and what you see, and you gotta, dig deep and go into people's private information and things of that nature, then you've really lost it. Like you're not meant for this quote unquote, as they say, beef. Because when I grew up, it was like, you shoot the dozens. Somebody talk about your mama, you talk about their mama. You kind of go back and forth. But
you don't instantly become sensitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And then people, calling people's jobs. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
You messing with somebody's livelihood. I may not like you. I may not even participate in what you do or what you even stand for on your platform. But there's no reason for me to kind of, have you or have your job questioned or your living arrangements questioned. I really don't care about that, and I shouldn't care about that to that degree.
But even in the dozens, there are rules.
Right. Yeah.
And usually it's a face-to-face. Whatever you see is face-to-face. You don't bother with anything that's in their background or anything else.
Right.
It's supposed to be
Right. It's just
what
supposed
I
to be
see,
right. What I view, what I see, what you've
and
shown,
that's it.
what you've said, that's it. All that other stuff, when you dig in and you kind of befriending people on people's friends list to kind of get information. Come on, like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. And trust and believe. For my people, they already know I don't play that. So it's like, you go ahead at your own risk, but you already know what's coming to you.
It can be very dangerous, and you'd be surprised the littlest thing.
Yeah,
somebody can. I remember one time I told you, I said your previous host said something, and I said, "Oh, I can find you in 15 minutes," and it's true.
Right? Yeah,
and it's true.
Yeah,
and that's the scary part, because you have so much public information that's out there.
Right. But that's why I don't, and people are like, oh, why you don't go live? Because I don't, it's bad enough that I lose the concept of when I'm out, somebody may notice me or say, oh, is that cat? You know what I'm saying? I don't, because I don't engulf myself
because it's fucking nuts out here, man. What are you talking about?
Like,
I had you tied up in somebody's basement, just milking you for sustenance.
No, you know what?
You think you skinny now?
Right.
35 pounds.
Looking all crazy,
he all dehydrated. Look at
him. Some people and the feds will be at your door. Right. Yeah. Like, and then you don't, like I said before, you don't know who people have behind them.
That's right.
You don't know who people have behind them. Like,
and I'm just waiting, because this summer they've been off the chain. They have really been off the chain. Completely.
And
it's not it's not playtime. This is real life, because it has real life consequences.
Exactly. But that's my point. This is real life. There's consequences behind this. It's not just oops, I'm sorry, let me go about my business. It's like, no, somebody can press charges. You can end up in jail, lose your whole life off of what? Off of what? And the whole time you going back and forth and doing all this bullshit, YouTube is like, cha-ching, ching, cha-ching,
with someone you don't know.
Well, well, a lot of people think that because they built these relationships with the people that they know them. It's just like
it's two-dimensional.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just like when people with their fans, like with entertainment fans or watching a show.
I never understand that standing for somebody like that. I just
listen. I'm sure there are plenty of actors and actresses that have played villainous roles that to this day, when they go out shopping or something, somebody's like, "You fucking bitch," and you're like, what are you talking about? I remember what you did to, so and so. And you're like, that was like, I worked on that show 10 years ago. Like, let it go.
You know what? I still got some animosity and shit saved up.
Right.
Let me stomp your ass.
Right. So yeah, I just, it's really crazy. But yeah, and a lot of it has to do with a lack of content, and also when it's and I've said this before, but it is so true. Watch the people when it comes time to re-up on that check money, like after the check has been distributed and it's time to re-up again, you'll see all types of crazy shit. You see bogus, somebody's at the restaurant, they not at the restaurant, but they called, okay. All this crazy stuff because you're trying to re-up on that money for the next check. Just be yourself. Do what you've been doing. There's
always OnlyFans.
I don't know who want to see that. I mean, I didn't know the zoo had OnlyFans, but I guess. Coming to the stage, just see it. And not the
Shut up. Shut up.
But yeah, no, I just, it's just like whatever. Don't do that. Yeah, the right person is gonna get doxxed on the wrong day. Yeah. But nobody wants anything, bad to happen to anybody. I mean, even if the
No,
person
but it's
you
going to
like,
happen.
like,
It's going to
yeah,
happen
but if you
because
keep pushing, because if you keep pushing the envelope, it's going to come a time where it's not going to be,
because some
it's not
people
going to
take
be so
they
pretty.
take it too far,
Yeah, yeah,
too
it's
far.
not going to be so
You
pretty.
know, even when you're playing the dozens, you do know when to stop.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a agree to disagree. Okay, all right, like
Yeah, your
you
mom.
go to your
Yeah, I know your
corner.
mom is a hoe. I know my mom is a hoe. Okay,
Right,
you
right.
know,
Yeah. But when you start going too far, it's like, and then you can't undo it. You know what I'm saying? So then
yeah.
you go so far to the point
But
where
then,
even if you were trying to make amends at some point or wanted to make amends, you can't because you've gone
yeah,
so
you go,
far.
and it's recorded.
That's the main part of it for
You're
me.
doing all this stupid shit, and it's
Right.
recorded
It's recorded not only for you, but for the
for the
children you may
whole.
have, the
mhm,
grandchildren you may have,
No, for
your
the whole.
family, the
When your
whole
ass goes
world.
to court,
Yes, that's it. That's it. It's there.
because you can't snatch it down fast enough before somebody has already recorded.
No, and not
So
only that, they own it. So you
mhm,
snatch it down all you want. You could delete it, but if somebody goes, "Hey, somebody ends up famous or whatever, whatever," and they go, "Oh, don't you have?" Well, we actually we do. For the right price, they'll give it up. You could worry about chasing
and
them
yeah, and
legally
you
later.
leave a trail. You leave a trail. Everything
That's
leading
it.
right up to when you ran them down with the car.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. That's it.
Mhm. But
You
I
know.
told you they've been acting foolish this whole summer. Every week it was something else. It's like, what are they doing now? So I promised myself I won't be watching this foolish shit. But now I got to peep here and there to see what they're even talking
No, I
about.
mean I do peep in because I do peep in because it is entertaining. To me, it's funny. I just don't like it when it goes a bit much, and when it goes a bit much, then I just step out. Like, okay.
Mhm.
But for the most part, it is funny. I just the creating of documentation, I think, going too far. I mean, because it's like really, if you put two and two together, you could really like, okay, that's really bogus. But now, if you would have done it in a more kind of funny satire way,
Mhm.
probably would have came across like, okay, he's joking, da, 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 and that's cool. But
Yeah,
the
we're
fact
just
that
gonna,
you
we're just going to
came
play with
across
it.
like these are facts, I have them, and it's just like,
Mhm.
okay, okay, I,
But then too, at the end of the day, it's more clicks, more views, more coin.
yeah, I mean that's true, but I mean, but at the same time with that, at what cost? At what cost do you risk it? I mean, I know there's been a lot of people that have risked friendship shows, progression of shows just for a coin.
Has anybody's employment ever gotten involved?
I don't know. I don't know. But that's that could happen next to where in which an employer might say, you know what, I this person either is good for us or good with us and we're fine with and whatever they do on social media. Now you're embarking on their personal whatever, and they
Mhm.
could bring their lawyers out. So it's really kind of a sketchy thing um to kind of poke at the bear like that, because you never know, and all money isn't good money.
Mhm.
Like such as I just said, all money isn't good money, but you have people that by any means necessary, they will do what they need to do to make a coin, because that's all you are to them. You're just just something to make money off of.
Yeah.
There's no connection there, and that's cool too, but that needs to be like set up front for some people. Yeah.
Yeah, Patty Duke. I watch At It because I want to be in the loop when there's a train wreck, and I don't want to have to play total
I'll be right
catch
back.
up. hmm Or I have to play play catch up because it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's been hot this summer. It has been hot this summer. People have lost their jobs, but I've seen a job defending him. I've never seen a job. No, I would think if people were calling the other person's job That's what I was thinking about. How, if they would actually get involved there, saying, why are you calling job, either looking for them or trying to verify their employment, because you can get them in trouble too, if they're dishing out information. I don't even want to play. He said, you don't even want to play catch up, Patty. No, but sometimes you if you go to hear something else, you go on somebody else's platform or something, and just in conversation, I at least like to know who the players are. Hey, Queen, how you doing?
Hey. I just wanted to make sure I ain't see no stomach. I just let me stop.
No, you have to turn to the side.
Oh.
So we can see breast.
You ain't gonna, because it's too.
Well, that's because you're all up on it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to show nobody the wrong thing. I don't want to do a Rico. I don't want to do a Rico.
That's a damn shame. Never mind. Anyway.
Rico, no, I love him. I'm just messing.
Because he was even on the wall that was burned up on the house was on there. I thought I would die laughing. I was done.
Oh, yeah. But I'm glad he got it fixed.
Yeah. Goddamn illegal aliens. Oh, woo, my God.
Burn the shit down.
Burn it down. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Yeah, hey, Queen Diva. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming.
Ooh, my God.
Count on my right. I don't follow a lot of people. No, I don't. I mean, I watch a lot of it just because I don't watch everybody, and a lot of times I get news other ways to be like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. But I just don't. Oh, thank you, Queen Diva. Yeah, try to stay happy as possible. Can't let it get you down too much. Thank you so much.
That's because we try to stay out of the foolishness.
Yes, try to. And then for me, it's like I only respond to those people I feel the need to respond to. Other than that, I don't.
Yes, everybody doesn't warrant.
Everybody don't deserve
that type of energy.
So yeah. Let's see. But anyway, that's all I had. Somebody did send me a book to read that I am reading I am listening to at this present moment. When I find my phone, I will be able to do that. Oh, here it is. What is it? Because I do Audible books. I can't.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of?
If I'm centered, I can. But if I'm doing other things,
I'd
rather just be listening. That way, I just listen to it. I was like, oh, okay. So, anybody have any book suggestions or whatever, you are more than welcome to pop it into my DMs. If you are a friend of mine on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram.
No, I thought you were going to say Twitter.
No, not if you want to be don't want to do that. If you want to be a nightcap friend, then yeah, you can go to Twitter. But if you just want to be the political friend, then you can go to Instagram. Now, anyway, speaking of Instagram, now what was this about this? You had an issue with the lip licking or something of that nature. What was that about?
Oh, that was Tanari and.
No, you said no. You
no, because. I was like, look at him. He's who he trying to catch?
I catch them all.
I'm sure you'd like a Pokemon. Mm-hmm. I don't see you walking around in the woods with holding your phone, trying to catch a Pokemon. Like, what the hell is he? Be like, well, it's like, what are you doing?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always this. I was like, boy, it's always a slow lick.
You know what? That's funny. I would always tease my twin sister about that, and I wind up kind of adapting.
And you do it all the time,
teasing her about it all the time. But she does it when she does it when she's nervous. That's when I know she's nervous.
Oh, okay. She'll lick her lip.
Yeah, like do this, I'll bite her lip or lick her lip. Like for me, it was just like it was the sexy face, and then I just got used to doing.
Yeah, that's what I just laugh. Yeah. There you go again.
And now it's a habit. So people feel like I'm doing that. I'm like, doing what? Like, I'm not doing anything. And they were like, yes, you are. You're doing this. And it really is a habit.
No, I don't comment. I don't even comment.
It's a habit.
I'll click that little like button. Click.
Right.
And then I'll laugh.
What my male friends do, or they'll text me and go, nigga, really? And I'm like, well, it wasn't for you.
Yeah. Because then too, who it may be for somebody else.
Right. I mean, for really, it's for nobody. It's just I just around because I'm.
See now he'll stop.
No, I won't. I'm just more like aware of it.
Aware of it. Yeah, yeah, and you'll stop.
Yeah. Or try to, and then it'll come and I'll go. Yeah, I've been unsubscribed to a lot of people. Giving your flowers. I'm so proud of you for making content that things that people. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I try, even though people are like, it's boring. Don't nobody want to hear that. Okay. Well, when you sitting there,
no, until the shit gets real,
right? To you sitting there trying to figure out, well, what the fuck's going on, and it's like, oh yeah, I should have been paying attention. That's all. I don't claim to be, and I've made some good connections on here with a lot of people that have large numbers, and they're like, oh, you should have crazy more numbers. It's like, it's just because of where you are, and it's just like I just ended up here. I didn't, but I'll make it work, and it doesn't have to be, as long as I have the air of a few. That's all that matters. All it takes is a mustard seed. That's it. And it's like, if you start to become aware about your politics and what's going on where you live, then I'm thankful, because we all need to be.
I guarantee you, as it gets closer to election times, it goes back. Like I said too, everybody's
be talking about. Then we'll be going back and forth with who's watching the debate on whose channel. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but like I said, nobody wants to listen to the stuff, and plus everybody's. 4 years of Trump burnt the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah, like it was really just like you.
I have the attention span of a gnat now. I can't even sit and read a book. 15 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do something else, because there's just always something going on. Every 15 minutes, something going on, and 15 minutes of that fucker has gotten on my nerves.
Yeah.
Every time you go around, and I'm always tired of saying, oh no, not this shit again.
Right.
And not that shit again. Oh,
but he enjoyed it. That's why he was always saying something stupid. Or
you can never get settled.
Yeah,
you can never get settled.
You're just like, well, what's gonna happen today?
For readers, have you ever heard the website called Z Library?
It sounds familiar.
Well, you can get a lot of books, PDF, PDF. Whatever format that you use. I get a lot of stuff over there, and I convert the file. You can convert a PDF file to an audio.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yes, you can do that. Okay, so you can do that too. There's I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Later on, because I don't want to fuck up my shit's been acting crazy for the last couple of days.
The book I was sent was called Barracoon. It's the story of the last black cargo. The last person who was the cargo enslaved. And I just started listening as I was working, like shortly before I got on here. It was sent to me, so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Pretty good listen to thus far. I mean, it just started. Here I thought they was into the book, and they was just reading the preface. I was like,
yeah. It's like, so sit on back and relax.
Yeah,
because it's going to be a long one. Yeah, but Z Library is really good. You'd be surprised. It has a lot of current and update books.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, you can change the format, whatever format that you use,
Mhm.
PDF, Word, or whatever, even text.
Right.
But just make sure you convert it, because they'll have one that they'll always show. But if you drop the menu down,
Mhm.
it shows you the other formats,
Okay.
and they'll just download it right to your device. And like I said, when I remember the name of that, it's an online conversion
Mhm.
that will convert it like within 15 minutes
Okay.
to an audio, that you
Cool,
can
cool, cool,
actually
cool,
do
cool.
that. Because I don't pay for anything. And
Cool.
speaking of not paying for anything, have you seen Old?
Okay, so what I thought was old was something else, because of course I was watching on my Fire Stick, so it was a different.
Mhm.
When I clicked the link, it was a different movie. But I want to go back and check it out because it might be good now. Because it wasn't that. I don't know what it was I was watching, but it wasn't.
It wasn't that.
From the description, it wasn't that. I was like, I don't know what this was, but I don't think this is it.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it now. Shutting everything down. I don't know why. When all that stuff went down yesterday with
Mhm.
Facebook and everything,
Yeah.
my cable and everything was just acting up.
Mm. Yeah.
I pay too much for this trash to be
Yeah.
acting up.
Right. That part.
Because I was about ready to tell them, take all this shit out here, except for the internet. Except for the internet, take all that shit right on out of there.
I'd have been like homegirl from Waiting to Exhale. Get your shit. Get your shit and get out.
And get out.
Yeah. I like written words too, Petty Duke, but sometimes I just it's quicker for me to just like hear it and work with it that way. Because when I was a kid, when I would read, I'd always have like my headsets in, so to kind of be playing music at the same time. So a lot of times when I listen to music, it always remind me of a book or a particular chapter or scene. So.
Yeah, I'm so used to doing other things while and it's great for that, because I love just listening.
Right. The only thing I don't like about listening is the taking notes portion. So if it's certain books that I'm reading, like when I was reading the Power, the 100 whatever power, 1,000 power, whatever it was like, oh, I want to knock it down, but I gotta stop. What is that? Rewind it and then make a note instead of just like with the paper, you just highlight and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the biggest drawback on it, but otherwise it's all right.
I'll tell you one thing, StreamYard, oh man, it is a hog.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it pulls your resources, I tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just seen that movie, the series. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Crazy, but it was good. Did you see it?
No, I got up to the part, the first episode, where the
Oh,
guy got into the car.
boo. You gotta keep watching. It was a good show, Petty Duke. Definitely good. It was definitely good. I enjoyed it. What did it remind me of? All the other shows, all the other kind of movies and shows like that, it reminded me of. But it was good. It was really, really good. I still didn't
Tell you one
understand
thing.
the ending too much.
How many episodes is it?
I want to say 6 or 7,
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. It's not too long to watch it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I notice now they're
Their
making
voiceover,
everything.
their voiceovers though was killing me. I was just like, please. At this point, I'd rather read the subtitles because it'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, gotta sound crazy, but it was good. It was good. It's good. I enjoyed it. Oh, you haven't watched it? Oh, you should watch it. It's good. You'll like it. You'll like it.
This is the other one. Has anyone watched Why the Last Man?
The Last Man. No, I've actually seen previews for that in New York everywhere, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's an old. It's like early 2000s comic book.
Oh,
I
okay.
do remember that.
All right. So I did drop the link for anybody who wanted to pop on and say anything or let us know about something that was going on that maybe we didn't speak about. You're more than welcome. Just be respectful. Please no BS, or you will get knocked down. But if not, that's fine too. No worries. Um, and that's fine. Yeah. So what else? Let me think. I don't think that's it. I don't think I've seen any other movie uh, yet that I've been like, oh, you gotta see that. Yeah, I got dragged into that Squid Game movie. I didn't. It wasn't on my radar, but once I started getting into it, it was like, okay. And that's what I don't
Yeah,
like. People
that's how most of
always
them are.
suggesting, oh, watch this, watch that, and then I go watch it, and then the person that told me to watch it ain't even watch it, and
Didn't
I'm
even watch
sitting
it.
there, right, and I'm sitting there like, well, what you tell me to watch it for? You want to go watch it? Now I got to wait for you to watch it to talk about it. Dumb. I don't like that. I don't
And I'm
like
going to
that.
put the link in for the converter also. And
Okay.
that's the online converter, so you don't have to download anything.
Okay. Look at you, Mr. Freebie.
Just don't want nobody knocking at my door.
I don't know what you talking about, officer. I don't know nothing.
It's the feds.
I don't know
They said they
nothing.
want to talk to you.
This who? I
Who,
don't
me?
know them people.
No, I don't know them folks.
I don't know them people. I don't know them. Uh-uh.
I sure don't. Don't know who you talking about.
Mm-mm.
MGM said what?
Right. MGM said who? Yeah. Because I'm still waiting for, actually, the Blood in the Water or Blood and Water, I had seen that, but it's been so long that I don't remember the premise of that. I think it was like two girls and they were separated at birth or some mess. But I have to like kind
Blood
of,
and Water, a
yeah,
book.
blood and Water or something like that.
Oh, I had it's on what?
I've seen it, but I don't remember. The new season has started, so I don't remember like what was what. But I did watch Dear White People. I finished that one. The new series or the new season came out on Netflix. I watched that. Uh, eh, eh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was okay. It was a singing
Oh,
musical.
doing the musical. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
the
So it was
promo
kind of
for that.
like, oh, okay, you know, okay, I guess. But I mean, but it was still nice. It was nice to see the characters and get back into that again. It was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Tell you one thing, they
But
just take so long to follow up on a lot of these
yeah,
shows.
yeah, yeah. That I forget. That's what I'm saying. The same thing about Blood and Water. It's like it's so long that I totally forgot. Like, what was the premise of this again? And where were
Mm-hmm.
you stuck at? So I gotta probably watch the recap and kind of like, oh, okay, I'm caught up. I remember and probably get into that maybe. But I don't
Oh,
know.
when you use the converter on the for the audio,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you use the converter, go to the audio
Oh,
because it has different things that you can convert besides MP3s. You can change text and things like that to other
okay.
things that you need. So just go to the audio one and just drag the file to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just click all the way down, and like I said, give it about 15 minutes, and it'll download it right to your computer.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool.
The voice isn't too bad.
It's this little robot.
Yeah, it's robot, but it's not like I had one
Rather.
on my system is you couldn't tell whether it was whether
Right.
it wasn't even a real person or anything.
Yeah.
Sounds legit.
Mm-hmm.
It actually said, "Wow, those titties are big." And you, it didn't. It's like, "Woo,
It's a god damn.
damn,
What this?
woo,
What you gonna say? Who's sucking whose titties over here?
yeah." Yeah, because I got a mammogram for you, and one for you, and one for you.
Everybody gets a gram.
That's right. Get them smashed.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely get them smashed.
Yes, get them checked. Get them checked. But that's all I had for you guys today. Thank you once again for hanging out with me. I know last Tuesday was a bit of a what are you doing? But yeah, I know. Try to get these little dates in there and kind of make sure everything is handled and all of my commitments. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna be there," and they'd be like, "Oh, it's this weekend. I forgot."
I guess there was a last minute, or was just the date was you thought it
Yeah, the date
was.
was conflicting. I thought I at least had a weekend in between.
Mhm.
I really did. I really thought I was like, okay, I come back from North Carolina. I have a weekend to kind of woosah, and
I
then
was
I'm
like,
back to
"Go
New York.
ahead, boy, run them streets."
It wasn't even that. It was like, what is this week? Is this weekend? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that one shield mask, it's like it covered
It
all the way
covered
down.
everything except right here. I could still put because of my cheekbones. I
Mhm.
had space right here, so I could still like put my fingers right here. So I was like, no, forget that. I put the mask on and then had that on,
Had that on.
and yeah, it was good. People were like, "You real covered up, ain't you?" Yeah, I am. Sure.
How was it up in New York? Were they wearing masks?
No,
They
no,
weren't.
no. But you had to like some people were, some of the tourists and stuff were, but you
Mhm.
had to in order to go into places, like I said, you had to have your card. And then I just started thinking like, okay, these people have cards, but who's to say that they're legit cards?
Yeah.
They're actually shot cards. So that just, kind of made me a little more
You
like,
know, that's 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 the extra scan that Pookie out here
yeah,
making cards and things now.
yeah. But no, these kids were just it's on a boat thing, and the people were just walking around, just nothing. I mean, again, you did have to show your card and stuff before you boarded, but again, it was just like all these people ain't had this shot, and we
Mhm.
sat there so long that we were just like, "Are we leaving?" They were like, "Oh well, when it fills up, we'll leave." Because I guess that was like the last boat for the night, so they were just
Mhm.
gonna fill it up, and we were like, "Oh no, I'm over this." So I was like, "Whatever y'all want to do," and we wound up just leaving and going someplace else. But the funny thing, we called up this lounge, and they was like, "Oh no, you don't need a reservation. You can just come." And so we were like, "Okay, so that's what we're planning to do." We get there, and there was a line or whatever, so we waited, and they get to the line, and it was like the security was like, "Come on!" And the dude jumped up like, "Do you have reservation?" I said, "Who? What?" And I could sworn, like with all the noise and stuff, it sounded like he said, "You have vaccination." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I got the like here, we got this right here, like there it is right
Mhm.
there." And he's like, "No, reservation." I said, "Huh?"
Oh shit!
I said, "What?"
Did they speak English?
Right. I'm like, speaking the damn English. What the fuck are you saying? So when I caught on, like, "Oh, you saying reservation?" Oh, I was like, I'm looking at my friends like, I thought he was saying vaccination this whole time. Like, oh, reservation? No, they said we didn't have to make one. Oh no, you have to make a reservation. Uh, uh unless you want table, it's like $400 for a bottle. $400 for what?
Mm.
For a bottle, and I don't even know what the bottle is. I thought, no, I'm good. We good. We're good. I'm not even. I'm from here. I would never pay $400 for a bottle in some rinky-dink lounge to smoke a hookah. Absolutely not. I was like,
you know how much weed you can get?
y'all milking this whole quarantine thing to
Quarantine.
the hill.
Uh-huh.
Like $400? I said that is ridiculous. And then because one of my friends, she was like, "No, he said $100." I said, "No, he said 4." So I was just sitting around, and the guy came up, and he had asked, and he said, "No, he didn't have a reservation." He said $400. I said, "Oh, I thought that's what he said." And he was like, "Yeah, it's $400." But I guess he had got this girl to put it on her credit card. But I was like, "I'm not charging that. I'm not. I'm not charging that." And then you gotta hunt your friends down
to get your money.
to get your money.
Because I ain't putting out.
That's crazy. I'm like, that is crazy.
I don't think I got $400 worth of ass.
For a bottle? Like,
that is crazy. That is crazy.
I'm like, what the hell you do? Like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, we had just before, as I was getting dressed and they were like deciding on what they were going to do, because I was like, well, let me get dressed first because y'all going to take forever. I thought I was long, but no, I'm not. I said, well, y'all decide to do that. Well, at least call and find out. So, calling, asking the questions. Hey, do we have to have, what do we need to have? What do we? And, oh, no reservations. Just come. Blah 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 blah. And I don't know if she meant maybe just come earlier, so that way, after a certain time, they'll be asking for reservations. I don't know, but she didn't say that when we called. And yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, what was the bottle?
Who you asking? I have no idea. I still don't know. All I know is he said $400. I said, for what? No, we're gonna get back in this black Uber. Thank you. And yeah.
At least your ride didn't pull away.
Right. Exactly. Sure didn't. Except for Habib. I'm gonna get him. I'm so get him. Yeah, he was a mess.
Your Uber driver.
Yes, the one Uber driver. Because first of all, he stole the Uber from the actual person that I ordered. But we didn't know. We were just like, oh, okay. He was like, oh, let me see. Oh, okay. And I'm like, well, no. Yeah, I ordered a black SUV. So then I was like, okay, well, this is probably. And then I'm like, no, I don't think this is it. And then he was like, oh, well, most of my friends are like, oh, I'm hungry. Let's go get pizza or whatever. So he's like, oh, I'll take you, here, there, and everywhere. I'm just like, how much all these stops gonna cost? I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was a lot, but it wasn't that bad. And I was just like, yeah, okay, that's my trip for the day because I'm not doing this. We're gonna be splitting this up because that was a healthy that was a healthy bill, and I was just usually like, shit, I could have drove y'all around for this. So
we got a perfectly good car.
Right. Yeah, but it was fun though. It was fun. It was different being the kind of tourist than being a resident a little bit. Because when I'm usually there, I'm still always just a resident. So it's like I just go to the regular.
Yeah, because you know where you go, all the normal.
I don't really go to the city that much at all, like for stuff like that. So it was different to be like, oh, okay, this is what this is like. It was interesting. Yeah.
You stay the whole weekend?
Yeah. We went on Friday. We left Sunday afternoon-ish. Yeah. So it was pretty much the whole weekend. I thought we were originally going to stay till Monday, but then people changed their mind, and I was like, oh, well. So I took Monday off, but I wound up coming back home and working.
Yeah, well, I wasted.
Like, you can work if you want to. I'm asking you, clock me in. It should be working. I want to clock me in, please. Thank you. I'll be there shortly. But it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it's good. Boy, look at it. 2 in 1 month.
Yeah, I know.
They run to the street. Go ahead, boy. So what's planned for the weekend? What's going on?
Nothing. Nothing at all. I am gonna get a show in there. We're gonna do the nightcap because, of course, I have some stuff to talk about. I don't understand people. People confuse me. And they only confuse me because I'm pretty simple. I am not a complicated human being. I'm very much straightforward. Like, granted, I am more indecisive about what I want to eat, what I want to wear. Yeah, those are about the only two things I'm indecisive about: what I want to eat and what I want to wear. But everything else is pretty much like cut and dry with me. And it's like once you kind of negate that a little bit or make me feel some type of way, I am really much like, all right, I'm good with you. Like
Patty said, give us a preview.
Granted, we could be friends, but no. Just my experiences with people, and I'm just wanting to ask, maybe is it me kind of situations?
It's all you. It's all you. Now that you got that over.
I don't think so.
No, actually,
yeah,
people are pretty.
I don't think so, but you're welcome to say it's me if you think it's me. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Edith, and aka Antonio, that went to a
that party,
soiree or lingerie party, and we're gonna find out. There you go. Look at him.
Oh, speaking of devil,
another super from the clouds, from the balcony.
Yeah, you busy? Drop the link. Drop the link.
Right, I did. I'll drop it again. So we're gonna talk about his little party that he attended. And just some things. I'm trying to get my other best friend to pop on because he's a hoot and you guys will love him, and he talks all kinds of craziness. He's worse than Antonio.
Oh Lord, tell him don't be scared.
I know. Hit the link, sorry, if you want to. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about because it's a lot of, I got a lot to. I'll see.
We want previews.
Okay.
We want a preview.
Just talking about some nice entrance. Yeah, okay. Follow your lead. Straight out the balcony. Like,
yeah, because I tell you, she swooped down at them goddamn clouds. I was like, whoa, what the hell?
Right. Who said what?
What? Oh, yeah. Damn, bodies laying everywhere.
Right. She did a Nino Brown. You better find your ass. Find your ass. Yeah. So that's really pretty much what the gist of it's going to be. Of course, we're going to have some crazy mayonnaise. I got to find some. But before I even get into that, because it just popped in my head, anybody seen Karen? The movie Karen.
Oh no! I was like,
BT actually did a movie called Karen.
Oh no! No. I'd be afraid because this shit's too real.
Once I stopped looking at the horrible wig they put the white lady in with the lace front showing.
It was the Tyler Perry.
It might as well have
production.
Been. It might as well have been. All I needed to see was the mic on the top of her head. Like,
are you serious?
He was talking. No, it wasn't there. But her lace, you could see. It was just like you could find some way to blend that in a little bit. I mean, I know you're a little Caucasian, but yeah, you couldn't just do somebody do a little dap, touch it up. But it was. I mean, it was okay. It was very much low budget. It gave very much, budget was tight.
Well, you give somebody an iPhone, their cameraman and producer and everything.
I mean, it was a little more quality than iPhone, but as far as like the storyline, how everything it was just like, and then you ended it with a Spike Lee type. You know how he would do the music with the poem or somebody speaking in the background with the music or somebody playing the saxophone.
Yeah, but she wasn't doing that. She wasn't doing that strange glide walk, was she?
Right. No, she was dead. She was dead at the end. But yeah.
So they popped Karen at the end.
It was interesting. Yeah, Karen got popped, but she wasn't the only one. But it was interesting. It was interesting. The funny thing was when the wife had invited her over the house and she was having a housewarming with all of her black friends. And she just sat there like, well, you guys should get over it. And it was like, the fuck?
That'd have been a short ass movie. They didn't stomp her to death.
Right. And I mean, and they were trying to, as hosts, they were trying to just be nice and maybe kind of let her say her piece so her friends could, and they could come to an understanding. But the friends was like, what this bitch say? Like,
yeah,
I'm about to stop a muggle with this bitch right now.
Yeah, because that'd have been one of those ones. I thought I heard something.
Yeah. She was like, because you people, it was like, you people, what you think, you people? And like, oh, we're not gonna make this about a race thing. Everything is about race.
Now, see, you couldn't have seen that in the movie, especially in the black theater, because they'd be talking.
Yeah, they'd have been cussing the whole.
I just thought that bitch is moving been over in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't even know what she said because everybody was just booing and talking and this and that. But yeah, no, I mean, if you're looking for something to watch and you really don't have nothing to watch, then you can watch that. But do I say go look for it? No, you don't have to. You ain't missing nothing. And then too, the lead character, the Karen, I just kept seeing Orange is the New Black. So I was just like,
what did Nari say? Edith, hit the link.
Edith the pussy. Edith pussy. Hit the link. You've been summoned. Don't let Tanari come get you. I'll pass. Yeah, I should have passed too, but I saw it and people were talking about it, so I was like, let me watch it.
I think the real life Karens are funny enough. Funny and scary enough. Watching them have a nervous breakdown.
That one wasn't even funny. She was really just like being obnoxious just because she could. Like there was one scene where these black men were talking and they were just talking, laughing, joking, and she was talking to her friend on the other side of the restaurant, minding her business, and she just could not stand that they were laughing and joking, whatever, amongst the two of them. That she actually went over there and said, "Can you lower your voice? Because I'm sitting over here with my friend and we can't hear each other." And they obliged at first. Then he said something else and they started laughing. And I don't know if it was laughing at her necessarily. But she literally went over to the waitress and told them. And then they went and got the manager and all this kind of, and got them kicked out. And then full circle, one of the friends happened to be the person she kicked out. So when he came in the house, he was like, "No, that's the bitch that."
I was going to say, I'd have stabbed her ass.
He was like, "That's the bitch that got us kicked out." And he was like, "What?" He was like, "The bitch I told you about, the Karen." He was like, "The Karen was a Karen?" He was like, "Yes." And so then, he's like, "Yo, you don't remember me? You got me kicked out of the restaurant." And she was like, "No, I don't. I don't." And he was like,
you don't remember me because you had fork marks on your damn chest.
It was just a bunch of craziness. But like I said, if you're in the mood to watch it, then watch it. Oh, look, it's Edith. It's Edith, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready, Edith? I'll wait till you're ready. Just give me a thumbs up. I won't throw you out like that. Okay. Hey, Edith.
Hey, Edith. How you doing? Good to see you. How's everything?
It's going.
It's going.
I had to put my wig on real quick.
What's wrong? Your hair wasn't dead?
No.
You
Not at all.
Well, it's better to have your hair undid than your belly undid. So
Not my belly.
Woo!
Good God.
You know what?
I gotta get my headphones.
So anyway, I am so excited about this upcoming nightcap. I really am.
I am too.
Because I have a lot to share.
I'm excited.
Jesus, gumdrops. And I'm curious to know about your little.
So think about that. It wasn't even as exciting as it was supposed to be.
Oh.
But it was, we had fun, but it wasn't like.
Oh, it wasn't like.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we coming to play. It was like, no, we're really coming to just play cards. We're coming to play pinochle.
Oh, so they punked out. So
that's
in
the thing.
essence,
Kind of. That's the thing. The outfits they were given was like, okay, we hit a party, but then it was like, oh, it's a party. Like,
it's a party. It's
right.
We're playing bridge.
So did you have to drag your toy box back out? What you found out it wasn't that kind of party?
You said, "Oh shit, let me."
Let me run back to the car real quick. Hold up.
Yeah.
You got the toy box with wheels on.
Well, I guess I can put Hercules back in the box.
You look like a goddamn stewardess as he's walking in the door.
Yeah.
Let me go back. Let me go back.
In a tank top and a kimono, walking outside with in my drawers. No, I'm telling you, that's what I look like.
They don't want to
see a kimono and some drawers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Not a kimono.
I should have took pictures. It was real cute, actually.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, but all that you didn't take pictures?
No, you don't. You don't take no camera
face,
to a dark room. Thank you.
No face, no case.
That's the rules. They're not supposed to know.
Rules, yeah.
Oh, now there's anonymity, right? Shit, I done seen people's guts. Now all of a sudden, everybody's kind of.
Speaking of guts,
you know what?
When your gut sticks out like your booty do, is it equally like you got more gut than butt, or more butt than gut?
Booty do is when your stomach stick out more than your booty. Your butt.
Right. But what if you got a little bit of both? What if it was like bloop bloop, and you just gotta pick and choose?
You just thick. You just stacked at that point. Like, oh, you look good and comfortable, and fat, and thick, and voluptuous, Rubenesque. I'm trying to find a good word.
Word for it. Yeah, I hear you hunt for the words.
Right. Grab my thesaurus real quick. I like Rubenesque. I think that's a good one.
Oh.
Pleasantly plump, whatever you want to call it.
Well, Christmas is coming. Black Santas are always great to come by. Hey, TC, how are ya? I'm not. You got the Edith on there. I'm like Edith.
I don't think I've done this on my phone before. Wait, I have, but it's different looking.
Yeah, it does show a little different.
Oh, it's something. It's something. I'll tell you that much.
You just couldn't wait. I need to get rid of this shit. I can't wait.
Let my shit come back up.
Y'all were talking about Karen, that movie earlier. Did y'all watch Squid Games?
Yes, I saw it.
I just finished it yesterday.
Oh, awesome.
It was so good.
It was good.
I gotta watch it.
I wasn't expecting the last part. I wasn't, but then I kind of figured as I played it back in my head, like I didn't know what happened to dude. So yeah, that makes sense. But it was good. It was good. It was good. I wanted to like kick the guy in the face though, because I was really like, okay, well, you don't got to walk around like that.
You talking about best friend?
Yeah, the guy, the guy at the end.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. He, yeah. You got to watch it, Nate, so we can openly talk about this.
Okay. I will. I'll have to cram. I definitely have to
They're
cram
only
that
30
in.
minutes though. It's only like I think it's only
it's only like
8 episodes.
Yeah, it's not like it's not
30
Was it the first one that was just real long?
I think so. I think the first episode was longer than the rest.
Yeah, because I thought it was about an hour or close to it.
Yeah, give or take. But it's good. So you got to watch it so we can talk about it. We're not going to talk about it now. You got to watch it. You got to at least watch some episodes. You got to
I'll watch it.
You got to tell Friday to watch some episodes. All right. Well, it's been great, guys.
Oh, real quick to everybody, I will be turning 31 on Thursday.
Yes, you will. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Hey, happy birthday.
Officially into the 30s group. Little baby.
So how you going to celebrate?
I have no idea.
I'm going to say you haven't left much to the imagination. You pretty much done.
That's the thing. It's like, what the hell? What is there different to do at this
And
point?
you didn't even send the wish list this time. Usually you send your little wish.
Because I haven't really talked about this much, but my mother's father died.
Oh.
And then 3 days later, my father's mother died. So I ended up losing two grandparents in less than a week.
Yeah.
So I haven't necessarily been like
in the most joyous.
Yeah.
It's such.
And everybody keeps asking me what I want for my birthday, and I'm like,
oh,
not really.
Yeah, not into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still excited because hell, people don't make it to 31. You gotta.
That is true.
You gotta be happy for the little things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yes, Edith, do that.
Figure it out.
Oh
yes,
Lord.
thank y'all for the birthday love. I see it in the chat. Thank you.
That's a lot of cake.
I know. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out what I'm gonna do this weekend. You damn right.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go. I will, of course, speak to you guys before Friday and before your birthday on Thursday, because I'll be hitting you up on Wednesday at 11:59. As always, trying to be the first one to be like, "Happy birthday!"
Trying to get it in there.
Yeah, for years I've been doing it. That's crazy. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure, and until next time, America, be safe, wear your mask, keep your distance, and just, be grounded. Wash your ass. Please.
That's still an issue.
I mean, for those who is the issue folk, make sure you wash it. But seriously, yeah, just protect yourself. Look out for one another. And until next time, God bless and good night. Peace.